right. So before we get started, as we all know, there is so much going on in the world right now, and particularly in Minneapolis. And if you want to contribute to mutual aid, highly recommend that you go to this website, standwithminnesota.com. They have a lot of resources. And with that being said, we will get week 5 of What Did Prince Do This Week started. And I am very excited that I have Mr. C. Lee joining us today.
Good morning, everybody.
And before you ask, no, Michael Dean is not going to be joining us today. He's taking some time out, so hopefully you'll stick with me and C. Lee. But if not, you know, Michael will be on his channel sooner or later. So first in the chat, we got Boombox Guru at home enjoying the snow in North Carolina today. And we got Andre. Today is a celebration, the last day of the super cold and snowy January. Yes, indeed. We got LTKK. Shout out to my purple people. Yes, we made it through another week. And let's see, guys, have you been seeing the younger generation taking to Prince's music? There's young Prince fans sharing Prince music with their peers. Video titles such as Showing Stranger Things fans, Prince has more songs than Purple Rain, which is amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Elder Eastland. I can't wait to start. We so appreciate you. We have our ATLian, Cassandra Bradley, in the chat. Light dusting of snow in the ATL. Thank you for that, because I haven't even spoken to my mom about that. So at least I know what's going on down there. Thanks to you, Cassandra. And indeed, prayers for Minneapolis. And we have Lori Johnson with us. We have Jamal Rowland from Austin, Texas. We got Anna B. Our Purple Kingdom has come from rehearsals via What Did Prince Do This Week. We got Nick Felden from Denver. We got Lisa Williams from a beautiful chilly day in H-Town. And we got Nikki, welcome. And Nikki has had enough snow and cold now. And Sister Charles, another cold and turbulent week, but grateful for the refuge you all provide in the space. Thank you so much, Sister Charles. I really appreciate that. We're trying to provide a little refuge from what's going on. And we got Lee Christian. Howdy, love that, howdy. Hope you're well. We got Drea Dances. Hope everyone is staying warm. It's a balmy 19 degrees here in the Chi. We got Christina Schlosser from Minneapolis, staying strong in Minneapolis. Thank you so much, Christina, for being here. We have Melvin Rush here from Salisbury, Charlotte, North Carolina. And yes, Drea Dances, Christina, we definitely stand with Minneapolis. And we have our literature brother, Blade Brown, in the house. Morning, fam. I love this, Gabrielle, back from the future, because Gabrielle is in Australia. So Sunday morning, 4 a.m. Look at that, Celie. Sunday morning, 4 a.m. here, sending all my love to Minneapolis.
Up with us.
Yes, we got Stone Freak in the house, another ATLian. We got TP in the house. We got Rockabosh. Hi, Rockabosh. I haven't seen you here in a while. Thank you for being here. We got Chris Bournet. It's in the single. I got family. Actually, I got a special birthday boy in Columbus, Ohio today, turning 21. So it's in the. He's enjoying his birthday in the single digits.
hey, brother, when they put on that fire, maybe to warm up a little bit. Play the Ohio players and try to get that heat going.
Yeah, we got Audrey also from the ATL. We got El Debar, 5 p.m. here in Ireland. Love to Minneapolis. Oh, thank you so much. Detroit says hello to D'Angela and Celie. We always love hearing from Detroit. What up, though?
And Arena. Say how old I am.
I love that. Oh my goodness. We got D68A, prayers to Minneapolis. Bruce and Tom at First Avenue was amazing. I don't know about Bruce and Tom. Do you know about that? Really? You got to tell us more. I haven't been on the socials. I've been like totally social media illiterate, so I've just been off. So you gotta
Yeah,
let us know.
when they say Bruce and Tom, I have to. Are we talking about Springsteen and Petty? I mean, which Bruce and Tom? No,
Well,
the
Tom
Petty
Petty
after
is
that.
fast.
Yeah, so which Bruce and which Tom?
Yes, I'm assuming Bruce Springsteen, but I could be totally
Right.
wrong. We got RTL 49. This is great, Stone Freak. So happy to hear that the weather isn't as bad in the A. And then, yes, Heavenly Games. We stand with Minneapolis. We stand with the journalists. We have Arlene Oak in the house. Welcome. We have Raywin. Good morning. Yes, so Raywin knows what's up. Raywin knows what's up. So for those of you who don't know, because Raywin knows, the Hit and Run albums, Phase 1 and Phase 2, are available on vinyl now. And actually, we were going to talk about this a little bit later. Sealy, Phase 2 is actually sold out on the Prince store, but you can still get it from Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
Phase 2 sold out, not Phase 1. Just FYI.
Very good.
We got El Michelle, Love That, A Great Day in the Morning, a really beautiful song by D'Angelo, if you haven't heard that. And Christina knows what's up. So Christina says that concert was amazing. We have Kim, my timekeeper. Yes, this January has been the longest. It really did not fly by this time. And we have Theo, always so happy to see Theo. And we got Tara, Rising Lives. It's 33 and the 504.
Is that New Orleans?
Is that New Orleans?
Is the 504 New Orleans?
Let us know. And then we got Kim, I'm with you, Kim. Glad it's 1986 right now. What did Prince do this week? It's an amazing year. And yes, Raywin live from California. Look at Raywin flexing, sunny.
Yeah, really, sunny.
California. Yes.
We hate you, Raywin. Yeah, it's even cold in Mississippi, Raywin. We hate you.
Yes, and Tara says Prince knew the revolution would start in Minnesota. And we got Jamie Hooper from Tulsa, cold here too. We got Ron Kayla. Thank you so much. We got Smitty Rock. And that I love this. 5 p.m. in Ireland sounds like a Prince deep cut. Love that. Yes, Rockabosh. We all need a purple breakfast spread to keep our energy up. I would love to have some purple pancakes. I got my coffee and my purple Yeti, but I don't have purple pancakes. I love pancakes. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Chris Bournet. But since you're also in Columbus, yes, happy 21 to who I consider him my son. He's not my son. He's my first cousin, who's more like a sister to me cousin. So I sort of adopted him as my son. Everybody calls him my son. So I am very thrilled that he's turning 21, which is really fantastic. And we got Purple Cat Confetti. My love to all of you and Minnie. Bruce was at First Avenue singing Streets of Minneapolis. Nice. Okay. That sounds like Bruce Springsteen to me. And then let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine.
Ah, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Of course,
all
that
right.
was a heck of a night then. Now, yeah. You couldn't miss with that.
No. Oh, thank you. There's a talking Rev in the house. I feel better already. Thank you, Anna B. I love that. And we got Duke Swan in the house. We got Vanity through Mooches. And we got, let's see. Okay, Theo just ordered their copies. Phase 2 is one of my favorite Prince albums. And Phase 1 has grown on me significantly recently. I would love to know more, Theo. What made it grow on you? We got JD Washington in the house. Look at JD. 80 plus degrees today. I want your 80 degrees.
There you go.
Send it to New York. We would love to have it. Yes.
We hate you, JD.
Yes, and thank you. I have this in the slide deck later in the salon part, but we can always talk about it 2 times. So just a reminder, Dance on the Cultural, Sonic, and Symbolic Legacy of Prince, an international academic and fan conference by the International Center for Prince Studies and University of Minnesota will be happening June 1st and 2nd.
I gotta start putting that in the newsletter, and I hate that I can't go. I teach every June, so I teach in a summer of all kinds of programs, summer science program. So they have one literary nerd at the summer science program. So, but I will start posting about that because I think it's important that we give as much love and pub to all of the serious Prince gatherings. So yeah, thank you, Professor. Putting that in there.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you so much, Jesse, for coming out to the Schomburg on a very cold night to see me talk. I will never forget it. So you came to see about me. You know, I have been complaining about you, like, pushing me to the side. So thank you so much for coming to see me. That meant the world to me, Jesse. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry I couldn't speak to you afterwards.
And I know that you're probably going to have something in the slide deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say shout out to you and the other two brilliant scholars for y'all excellent conversation at the Schomburg. If you guys, I know Prof. Duffy's gonna have it in the slide deck, but I got to be there in the chat, in live time. The chat was on fire because y'all was on fire. It is one of the best Prince discussions that I've heard in a long time. So shout out to you and the other two scholars there. And yeah, when y'all get the link, go check it out. It's excellent.
Thank you so much, Celie, and thank you so much for watching it in real time. And the other speaker was Fedara Hadley, Dr. Fedara Hadley, who's actually teaches at Juilliard, but she's actually spoken at two different Prince symposia that I put on, the first being Love Sexy, and the other being Batman, actually the Bat Dance Symposium at Spelman. And Fedara is very similar to Celie, that she doesn't need visual aids for her presentations. You know, Fedara, you know, is like her own visual presentation. So she doesn't really require it at all. And in terms of the curator of the series, it's Daniela Brito. So I'm so grateful for Daniela for the invitation to speak. And it was part of a series that they're doing at the Schomburg. So it was really great. It's always great to watch Prince with other Prince fans. And what's great is, especially if you watch the video, which is in the accompanying playlist, there was someone there who had never seen Prince live, and they were super inspired by seeing Prince live. So for me, Prince live is where it's at. It's so important that people see Prince, you know, live, and I'm so grateful for the Schomburg for showing it. Let's see. Oh, I love this. Yes. Purple Cat Confetti said Electric Fetus could have Hit and Run 2 available. I'm sure that they do. Somebody can do some Googles and see. And then we got Phase One's June is one of my favorite songs, always on repeat. And then I want to read Theo's. Phase One is an album I had sort of written off and never really revisited until recently. It's not one of my favorites, but now I think it is a really fun record. And then let's see. Okay, so over in the UK, it's just rain and more rain. So, oh, thank you so much, Jesse. I really appreciate that coming from you. And so Freaking Sam, my only wish is that June was longer. I love that song. Thank you so much, El Michelle. I really do appreciate it. And I always love seeing D'Angelo and Jesse in your avatar. So thank you for always putting a smile on my face. We miss D'Angelo so much. All right, so let's get this. Oh, I love this. Live One Night Alone and Ain't Over is my wake up music. Love, love. Yes, Duke Swan. So as soon as I got off, I listened to Burnt Sugar's Do You Lie? And how can I say this? I have a lot of respect for the Burnt Sugar Orchestra because they were founded by Greg Tate, who I adore.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. But you remember I said that Prince shouldn't be covered. And I do think that Do You Lie should not be covered, just because no matter how amazing you are as a vocalist, and there were some amazing vocalists on that stage, it just doesn't compare to Prince's stacking of vocals. Do You Lie is one of my favorite Prince songs of all time because of Prince's vocal delivery, the harmonizing. So it's gonna. I have very high expectations. Like if you're going to cover that song, you got to be on point. Well, I really enjoyed hearing their version. It was a really great musical arrangement. So thank you so much, Duke, for letting me know about it because I didn't know about it. So thank you so much. And that's one thing that I love about this community. Okay, so we got the time check from our time checker. So,
Right, 12:15. I'm not gonna be here with all this foolishness.
all right. So we're going week to week, not day to day. And one day you'll figure that out if you haven't yet. And we are reading week 5, and it's going to be Monday, January 27th through Saturday, February the 1st, because on Saturday in 1986, it was February the 1st, even though it's January 31st. That only will make sense to my mom. And yeah, so you do not need the paperback version, but this is the one that Celie and I have, and you know it is because you see the little circle, but also it's lighter than the hardback, but it has like 50 more pages and some updates. So I love this from LTKK. You're going to make us play Body Heat. Exactly.
Body Heat and E.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, we need, you know what we need? We need a meme of Eric Lee's rolling his eyes. We need somebody to make a meme. Somebody, that's your job in the chat. We need a meme of Eric Lee's rolling his eyes.
Oh my, we so need one. We so need. Okay. All right. So, as Ricky would say, as you come on in, if you don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind subscribing to my channel or Michael Dean's channel or both of our channels, that would be really great. You know, we're working against the algorithms and we're trying to get the word out about Prince's work ethic, about Duane's books. And so we need your help. And
hey, this, you know, this is an unfair chore I'm giving people since I'm not on social media. So I realize that I'm being a hypocrite since I'm not on social media. I'm asking everybody in the chat, whether y'all on the Instagrams or the YouTubes or the Facebooks or the Facegrams and the Instabooks, wherever y'all on. The TikTok, there you go. I want y'all to start my favorite "What did Prince do this week" moment. And just tag each other. Just tag the people that y'all know. And I want y'all to do it has to be like, I don't know how to work on social media, but I think that it'd be cool if y'all did a favorite, and it could be from whatever these. What we in year 3, right? 3, 4. There you go. We in year 4. So you got 4 whole years, right? See, look at that. Theo, read it right there. So I want everybody, all y'all online that's in social media, to start to do the challenge, your favorite "What did Prince do this week" hashtag moment, and then maybe that way that'll also help the algorithm and do that. So again, I know I'm not fair because I'm not on social media. All right.
Thank you so much, LTKK. I've just given up my hands. I was like, I don't know how these algorithms work. And for me, it's more about quality than it is about quantity because we don't want crazy people in our community either. So
that's the other thing when you get popular.
Yeah. So we're good. We're good. Happy Saturday, Tanja. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see. Yes, P was definitely still alive when, where did Stone Freak? Yeah, so Stone Freak said I was rewatching Scandal, the TV show on Controversy, played on that show at the beginning of an episode. Yes, Prince was still alive and Scandal was airing. And let's see. He got my purple boots to the icy and snowy to the ground. I too think Do You Lie is, thank you, Melvin. You're my best friend. That's right. Do You Lie is impossible to cover. But I really appreciate that they did. I mean, just because that's not a song many people would choose to cover.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I did just do that. I didn't do that on purpose. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Every time you say you're my best friend, I hit a Queen song in my head.
Ah,
Every time you say that.
really?
So we need to get the meme. We need to get that. We also need to make that the Queen song. You're my best friend. Actually, one of my favorite Queen. Well, I have a lot of favorite Queen songs. We won't go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I always hear that song whenever you say that. All right, go ahead.
All right. So Rockabosh says Prince presenting the AMA award to Huey Lewis on January 27, 1986 fascinated me because the idea of Prince interacting with other musicians beside his own was like seeing a unicorn. All right. Yeah, that makes a lot of
Well,
sense.
and I know we're gonna cover it, but for me, it was the Fangaways. Hey, what showed up in the Fangaways and the Tucks? Because I'm
He was
trying to remember.
clean. He was
Because
clean.
the movie come out.
No, the
Yeah,
movie
so
till July 4th.
exactly. So when you look up and you see Prince and them Fangaways and the Tucks, I was just it was like mind blowing to see the brother. And for those who don't know, like Fangaways was like that's a hood thing. Like Fangaways go back to the Harlem Renaissance, and Fangaways won't die. We even got Fangaways that living today in 2026.
I saw some this week. See, Lee?
Yeah. What's Tiana Taylor? Is that her name?
Yes, that's her name.
She was rocking some Fangaways. So I don't think people understand that when Prince bust out the Fangaways on American Bandstand, that really was. I know it don't seem like
American Music Awards.
I mean, at the American Music Awards, that was like a hood like moment. And so anyway, you're right. That's a lot of promenade in them Fangaways. All right, go ahead.
All right. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to find one day I'll learn how to use StreamYard. There we go. So this is our hashtag WDPDTW, and this is an independent endeavor. The state of Prince Rogers Nelson. It's not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. And our community guidelines are we choose to be a community even when we disagree, and it's okay to disagree. And we started off the top of the hour with 5 because this is week 5 of What Did Prince Do This Week. And as you can see, well, actually you can't see because I cut that off. There was, let's see, just Prince and Eric Leeds on this one. And so we are episode number 157, week 5 of 1986. And this week we had 4 studio sessions, 1 new song, and 1 live appearance, and actually 2 live appearances because I totally forgot about the AMA. So thank you so much for reminding me. And so, look, Drea Dances used to rock Fangaways.
There you go. What them Fangaways?
Yeah. All right. And I love that K Cool Music says that Hit and Run Phase 1 and 2 are complete masterpieces. Yes. And Rockabosh is saying, I thought Wham should have won over Huey Lewis back at the AMAs 1986. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually, Rockabosh. All right. So this
I
is
don't know. I'm gonna have to stand up for the rock and soul. I think Huey Lewis and the News was playing like the last brand of rock and soul. Like we know it as rock and roll, but if you look at the history, so I would always say that I'm not. I liked Wham. I want to be clear. I was digging what they were doing in Wham, but I think that Huey Lewis and the News had kind of hit that American road rock and soul moment in their career. And I think that really is what that resonated with folks was, that kind of it was like double bass and guitar, if that makes sense, in your rock and soul. Plus you got the saxophone and all of that. Anyway, all right, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I'm still with Wham though.
yeah, nice little history lesson. I appreciate your little history lesson. Let's go back to Wham. So
I mean, you can't beat George Michael's voice. I mean, George Michael has one of the best voices ever. And I just never got into Huey Lewis. And Huey Lewis was all over MTV at this particular time.
Look here. I go back to Huey Lewis's first album and Working for a Living. Like that's my working for a living is my jam. That's off their first album. That even off, not even off their biggest album. But Huey Lewis is working for a living is just like, and I will say this. So working for a living, and also if you ever see the Huey Lewis and the News is when they perform I Want a New Drug on Saturday Night Live, that was the moment that I realized they are in a real backroads American rock and soul band, because it sounded nothing like the record, and it sounded twice as good as the record because they allowed the guitar player to get totally free. So but I'm with you. Wham was really big, and then we know what George Michael did. Then even after that. So yeah. But I'm not hating on Wham. I'm not gonna forget how big Wham was at that time.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, let's see, we can disagree, Yeah. We can totally disagree, but for me, it was all about Wham. Yeah. And let's see. So we got El Michelle with you, Huey Lewis in the News, greater than Wham. George Michael solo artist, priceless. I can respect that. Yeah.
And you know what my favorite George Michael moment is when all the black people got mad when he won R&B album of the year after they had played it the whole year. That was hilarious. So black people had played George Michael's album. Don't act like you didn't. The black people had played George Michael's album the whole year. And then when he won R&B record of the year, they got so mad. I was like, that's hilarious. Don't front like you weren't playing it the whole year. So, hey, DeBar, you right. That's hilarious. But I always cut Huey Lewis some slack, because you know that was supposed to be Prince line, right? So I always feel bad for Huey Lewis. That Huey Lewis got thrown in at the last minute to sing the line that was originally written for Prince and that We Are the World. So I always cut him some slack on that.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to do here. And I need to actually share this again. Sorry. I'm a little
slow.
There you
go, Rocketad. There you go, Rocketad. They was all about it till you got that Soul Train award.
Yes, Rockabosh.
I'm sorry, Rockabosh. There you go.
Yes. And Ray Wynn has Love Wham, Love Careless Whisper, my favorite song. Yes. All right. Okay. So a lot went on, and the reason why I missed the American Music Awards, sometimes Duane watches these, and I would say, how did I miss this? It's because he has 2 Monday entries, and the other Monday entry was on the other, and I wish you stop doing that, Duane. Can you stop that? Can you stop doing that for the next book and just put everything under the same date header, because it causes a lot of confusion like it just did. So let's see. We got Bodhisattva says George Michael actually inspired Prince. Jim was the first to say his contract signed at 15 was slavery. Peace to George Michael. That's right. Yes, thank you for that. It's Smitty Rock is saying, just like Bee Gees, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, Black folks rocked that back then as well.
Yep.
And Edgar, it's so great to have you here. Yes, we are praying for a time. Well, Praying for Time was written for the times we now live in. George Michael was way ahead of his time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes,
and
indeed.
Kim was saying George Michael's year was 87, not 86.
Yeah. And you know what I just thought about? I don't know. Do I mention George Michael? If y'all want to go back on the newsletter, I actually do an article called Revisiting Blue-Eyed Soul. So if you ever want to check out, and I think I mentioned George Michael in that revisit. I definitely mentioned the Bee Gees. So if you ever just want to read something about Blue-Eyed Soul and that, because again, I think a lot of it's what we're talking about, because somebody talked about it was black music, and I get into what is black music and what is R&B and the history of R&B and the history of white acts singing R&B. So yeah, if you just ever want to take that stroll, you can check out that article on the newsletter. That's it. I'll shut up.
All right. So going back to the calendar for this week, we're not going to read it because we're going to read each day. But one thing that you will note is that Monday, Prince is at the American Music Awards with his Finger Waves. but there's also a compilation of orchestra only mixes for Parade. And then on Tuesday, you can see there's work on Jil Jones's record. And seeing this, see, Lee, I really wish that Jil Jones's debut would have came out in 86 versus 87. That would have been extraordinary. And then you also see more work on Jil Jones' record with You. And then you see a new song that we know, Wonderful Day, that was released on the Sign of Times Deluxe box set, which I personally think it should have gone on a Parade box set, but that's just me. I know it gets a little, I don't know what the word is, murky.
Right. That's a good word. That's a good word.
Yeah, murky. So I understand, but yeah. And then in addition to Wonderful Day, we are heading into February. And on Saturday, Prince and Brown Mark join Mazarati on stage for 15 Minutes of America in St. Paul. So that's what Prince did this week, and we're going to dive into it. So, actually, we're going to start off with this first, even though Duane has it the opposite way in the book. So if you don't mind, if you don't mind reading Monday, January 27th, I appreciate it.
All right. You want me to do the studio first or the American Music Award first?
The studio first. And do the studio first and then do the American Music Awards.
Okay, cool.
If you don't mind.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. Why I'm tripping. Let me stop trying to even front. All right, let me get closer. I know folks will on me about being closer to the mic. All right. So Monday, January 27th, 1986, all titles listed, likely including Venus De Milo, long version, Alexa de Paris, Life Could Be So Nice, Christopher Tracy's Parade, New Position, I Wonder You, Under the Cherry Moon, Sometimes It Snows in April, and Do You Live, Sunsets Down, Studio 3, Booked, Locked Out, Producer Prince, Artist Prince, Engineer Susan Rogers. You want the Susan Rogers quote?
Yes, we're doing all the reading today.
Okay, so Susan Rogers quote, he probably might have been using his music to inspire the movie rather than having the movie itself inspire his music. He was aware that he was lost at sea with Under the Cherry Moon, and sometimes his mood could be just so damn dark. He knew he was in trouble. In the quote, it appears that Prince did not attend this session, but he instructed Susan Rogers to put together a variety of orchestra-only mixes for the tracks that he apparently hoped to place in the movie. The list of songs included Venus De Milo, Alexa de Paris, Life Could Be So Nice, Christopher Tracy's Parade, New Position, I Wonder You, Under the Cherry Moon, Sometimes It Snows in April, Do You Lie, and likely a few other songs. Prince attended the American Music Awards in Los Angeles, where he presented the award for favorite single in the pop rock category to Huey Lewis and the News for Power of Love. The event was much more subdued than the previous year when Prince shined brightly. This year, Prince was nominated in 3 categories and lost all of them. The biggest event of the night for him was premiering a new look for this era.
All right, so I'm trying to stall because I'm trying to put in some pictures with the quickness.
Yeah. And those categories, those would have been for songs from around the world in a day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was around the world in a day. That okay, good deal. I just always like to keep that.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what's in real time when we're talking, I know when we're looking, we think about the look. I always have to remind myself, like I know the song America is on around the world in a day.
Yeah.
But the video is giving more Parade than around the world in a day when we're talking, because remember we hadn't seen him in a while. So for me, it was always like I know, I know America is on that album, but the performance, and of course he's already in France, he's already shooting the movie, he's already doing these things. So it was for me easy, and that was always kind of my segue or transition point right into the Parade era was the America video.
Yeah. So I don't think he didn't win any awards. Nope, not in '86.
Yeah. America. I mean, it's around the world today. He got no award love?
I think that's saying is speaking very loud.
Right.
And what I'm saying, why I'm saying it that way, is everybody wanted Purple Rain too.
Yep.
And they were basically like, we're gonna show you.
Right.
We're gonna let you know we want Purple Rain too.
Well, and I would say that yes, I'm with you on that, and that he was so recluse, and you had the backlash
of exactly.
Backlash to We Are the World. So I think those three things, right? We already mad you didn't give us Purple Rain 2, right? And you not out here, you not out, like they say, outside, as the kids say today. And then you had the nerve to snub We Are the World. Yeah, we gonna show you, right, that you gonna have to play the game like everybody else. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So I find that very interesting. Okay. So are we still there? Yes. All right. So my apologies, but again, Duane. All right. So this is Prince with his finger waves and in full Christopher Tracy mode. He looks so incredible. I also love like how happy he is. This was the happiest in real time I had ever seen Prince. Like the parade era, like he was so happy. And so I love this little smirk. This is him and Jerome looking suave. And then we got like the same picture, but just focus on Prince here. And then again, this is so Christopher Tracy. Love this pic of he's up to something. And here's another one. Really great photo. And him and Alan Leeds. Look at Alan Leeds in his tux. Yeah. Alex looking great, but I love Prince. I guess Alan has one too, but it seems like Prince's lapel is shinier. I love the shine, the satin.
Yes.
And
well, you know what it is? He has a bigger lapel. That bigger lapel is much cooler.
Yeah, it's much cooler. And it seems like it's like more pointed. I can't, the video isn't, I'm sorry, the photo isn't the best, but yeah. And you can see Prince here or Christopher Tracy. Love this photo too. A lot of smirks. And here's another one.
You know what's interesting about, and I hate to use this term, so maybe you can give me another term. But I remember in real time, one of the things was that was the first time I just remember people saying this, that Prince looked normal. I hate that word. And even in real time, I didn't know how I felt about it.
Yeah.
And I write about it a little bit, but like that was really interesting that night. One of the things that resonated was because you'd never seen Prince not looking uniquely like Prince before this moment. There had never been a time in his history where Prince didn't look like Prince, like something otherworldly. And in this very moment, he looked like somebody that you could see at your church or at a regular event or at something. And so I just remember how many people were talking about that Prince looked normal, which even then I didn't know how to feel about it. And even now, I didn't really know how to feel about it. Though I do admit, like, he looked clean and the finger waves was finger waving. All right, let's move on.
Yes. I don't know another word to use either, but for Prince, I think it was pretty radical for him to do that because people weren't expecting that. So, he was always keeping us guessing. And I really love this comment from Rockabosh. Prince looked like Jasmine Guy's brother from Harlem Nights, from the Harlem Nights movie. If you've seen Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy and Red Fox and Richard Pryor, really great. Della Reese, a really fantastic movie. Highly recommend Harlem Nights. Yes. I love this era. And let's see. Yes, Eldebar, I love this. Even though we're biased, it's hard to fathom now how much quality there was in pop music back in 86.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
sure. This is where Ricky would come in right now and give us a rundown of everybody who was releasing something in
Right,
86.
exactly.
I wasn't listening.
Such and such had this and wrote on this right here.
Yeah, I miss Ricky. Oh, this is funny. Kim says Prince at the fundraiser.
That's it. Kim, look at winner goes to Kim. Pin that statement. There it is.
Yes, yes. And Baby Love says that Grady Desmond Wilson, aka Lamont on Sanford and Son, died. I didn't realize that. Thank you for letting us know. He was smart, talented, and handsome. Condolences to his family, friends, and fans for sure. Ooh, I love this comment, Eldebara. I never thought about this. I love this first picture in color, and he wears black and white. Love that. Let's see. So, yes, I think it was a part of a lot of our childhoods.
There you go.
And let's see. Andre Staley says, oh, I'm sorry, D688 says he got an honorary AMA in 1990, but no more awards in 80s. Was nominated once in 87, but nothing 88 or 89. Yep. Yes, shout out to Ricky. All right, so Rockabot says Prince crashed a high school prom and won prom king.
I love that. I love that.
This is another photo, and all right. So we're gonna move on to Tuesday, January 28th, and I will do the reading for that one. And Mia Boca mix, compile with edits and crossfades for Jil Jones's album. I really wish this would have been released in 86. G-Spot mix, compile with edits and crossfades for Jil Jones's album. Baby Your Trip, listed as Baby Your Trip, mix, compiled with edits and crossfades for Jil Jones's album. Multiple cues for Under the Cherry Moon score, tracking mix. Sunset Sound, Studio 3, 7 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. Booked, locked out. Producer Prince, artist Jil Jones, engineer Coke Johnson. Jil Jones, it took us a long time to actually commit to working on an album because I've been working on everybody else's albums for years. And I think at some point, because I could stay in so many different styles, it was very difficult to figure out who I was. This is a really, really important comment. I'm trying to do this. Very, very important comment from Jil. Since 1982, Prince had been dangling the carrot of an album in front of Jil Jones, and for the most part, it kept being delayed. For the first time in months, Prince began working on an album again in earnest, and much older tracks like Mia Boca, G-Spot, and Baby Your Trip were all updated potentially for her collection. Baby Your Trip dated back to July 8th, 1982. And even contained the phrase "something in the water does not compute," which referenced a track with the same title that was recorded early in the spring. Okay, so I just said that I really wish that Jil Jones's album would have been released in 86. To be honest, it really should have been released in 84, along with the Apollonia Sixes, because, she had a very, pivotal role in Purple Rain. It would have made so much sense, but
and it was supposed to have had a song in it too, right? Was it Wednesday? What was the song?
Yeah, it was Wednesday. Yeah. So yep. Okay, I'll stop, but probably not, because I really wish this album would have gotten released sooner. Okay, because the song had been recorded in 1982 during a period of time that Jones was getting to know him, it resonated with her on a deeper level than expected. Okay, let's think about this, C. Lee. She recorded Baby Your Trip in 1982. Her album didn't come out until 1987. She had to wait 5 years for an album. 5 years.
When you sit on something that you know is fire.
Yes.
That's got to be frustrating.
It's got to be. All right. We're going to skip the quote, and then we're going to go to Prince had recorded a vocally challenging gospel-like coda to the song. that would eventually be revisited by Jones, then reworked and also blended with Claire Fisher's orchestral elements from Mia Bocca and placed at the start of her album, which is one of my favorite openings to an album of all time. Jil Jones's album opener is amazing, by David Z. Rifkin, cleverly bookending her album. When Jones heard the vocal gymnastics that Prince had recorded, she took it as a challenge. I was like, I can do it. I love Jill. I can do it. And it was David Z who wanted that at the beginning of the album. Prince wouldn't have put it there. David Z had me nail it in almost note for note. It was like a feather in his cap because this could be a really great record. It was a great record. We really had something there, and Prince should have kept going, but the problem is that he was being pulled in so many different directions. Jill was awesome, remembers Coke. She was one of the Purple Elite back then. I don't know what their personal relationship was, but she was very talented, very excited to be there at the studio. We all loved Prince, but I think she loved Prince more than I loved him. He was actually spending time on the relationship and helping her move her career down the road. G-Spot was also taken off the shelf and given a new mix and edited for crossfading and fitting on Jones's album. G-Spot has a funny life because he started it in Kiowa Trail, recalls Jill. He played the initial lines of the saxophone. And I've always personally liked that part. I was walking to the laundry room. I could see because he had those glass-lined doors downstairs, imitates Prince on the sax playing two notes over and over. That's a memory that will never leave, and I don't even know how to explain it. He sat there all day. His house was not soundproof. You're upstairs trying to watch TV and imitate Prince's two notes on the sax again. Wow, that's a guy that's dedicated. Funniest image ever. At this stage, her album was tentatively going to include intro, Mia Bocca, 7 minutes and 40 seconds, G-Spot, 4 minutes, 30 seconds, With You, 4 minutes, 15 seconds, Too Rough, 6 minutes and 10 seconds, Boom Boom, Can't You Feel the Beat of My Heart? I am so glad that that never got released. 6 minutes and 9 seconds, My Man, 4 minutes and 20 seconds, For Love, 8 minutes and 40 seconds, Baby Your Trip, 6 minutes. There were many tracks that were likely considered, including Misunderstood, Nope, Polka Dot Tiger. I never liked Misunderstood. Polka Dotted Tiger, Zebra with the Blonde Hair, Killing at the Soda Shop was my favorite song that Jill's ever done. Married Man and Living Doll, don't like that either, and were not included in this compilation. Although Prince had finally kept his promise to compile Jones's album, this collection would once again be placed back on the shelf. It got pushed off, and yet he was using me on everybody's stuff, but I think there was a thing of thinking that I would leave. He just wanted the ultimate control. Before the session ended at 4:30 in the morning, Prince continued working on scoring more of his movie, including a scene that had him speaking to a statue of Venus De Milo. Venus.
Ricky's favorite opening.
Yes, Ricky's favorite opening. Today is a wonderful day. I think I might be leaving the business soon. The exchange likely influenced the song he'd be recording this week. 2 C60 tapes were created of today's collection. This sequence was eventually dismissed, and now compilation would be created in February and November. Several of these tracks, including Too Rough and Boom Boom, Can't You Feel the Beat of My Heart, would be considered for Jil Jones's second album, but that album and these tracks would remain unreleased during Prince's lifetime. And there's a coda. This session may have been slightly delayed because it was a national day of mourning when the Challenger space shuttle broke apart 73 seconds into its flight earlier in the day. All 7 crew members, including 5 NASA astronauts, 1 payload specialist, and a civilian school teacher, were killed instantly. Prince was inspired to write about the tragedy a few months later on Sign of the Times.
We're at the 40th anniversary of that.
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, exactly, Gabrielle. Prince on the saxophone. What I would love to have seen that. It obviously made an impression on Jill. And let's see what Blade Brown is saying. Interesting to wonder how a JJ album in '84 would have impacted all the rest. I think it would have been fire. I mean, that album is so good. And let's see, 1984 would have been the perfect time for JJ. Yes, LP, Purple Momentum would have given the LP the attention it deserved. And yes, I love, 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 adore the opening to Jil Jones's album. This is a really great question, Nick Felden. I can tell you in real time, it didn't sound dated to me. Like when I heard this and when I heard Jil Jones's record in '87, it didn't sound dated to me. But you have to understand that unlike Ricky and everybody else and Michael and probably Celie too, I was just listening to Prince at that particular time. So for me, it just fit. I love El DeBar says, I have to go collect my 95-year-old dad from the pub. Better social life than me. That's so incredible.
Hey, shout out to Dad. I want to be that man. I want to tell him he living my best life. So shout out to him.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. And okay, Talsophy, I missed this one. I like the banana yellow. I never liked that banana yellow suit.
In my product voice.
Yeah.
You mean the one from People Magazine? The one that what? That is super pimping. What you talking? What? No, we will have no banana yellow suit slander. You never liked
it? I never liked it. I love the color. I didn't like the suit. So like, okay, going back to quote unquote normal.
Right.
To me, that was a normal cut suit. Now, the reason why the Get Up for American Music Awards wasn't normal to me was because of the finger waves and because of the swag that he had. Now, you have to understand that I saw that yellow suit first on People Magazine. And if you know that cover, you know how cheesy, he's like cheesing. Right. You know, so I think it's a combination of the actual cover.
Right.
That just like of all the shots, like why that particular shot. Sure, there were some other shots where he was more suave and debonair, but it was People Magazine.
Yeah. So, yeah. See? That one of my top three is the banana yellow suit, and I don't know if you remember
top three?
One of my top three of like Prince pictures are that one, and then there's a controversy era. My favorite all-time Prince pitch is from the controversy era, the one we had on the white shirt and the black socks and the ties undone. He has the suspenders and the ties undone hanging down.
Yeah.
That's just like, I have no idea why that's like my favorite. And I would say in that third, the Love Sexy poster where he has on the policeman's hat. Those are like three of my, like I always go back to those three is the Love Sexy. In fact, when I met Monica, I had that Love Sexy poster on my wall with Prince with the police hat. So yeah, I've always loved, and I guess because if I'm remembering that time poster, he's doing kind of like the Christopher Tracy, like the Christopher thing with the cufflink. Remember see these cufflinks in the interview, right? Yeah. And I think for me, I've always liked that see these cufflinks things. So he's kind of doing that as well. But I get what you're saying. It's normal and it's on people. That's also the cover where it has, would you let your woman date this man?
Right.
Because it was right after the stupid contest that I wish they would have rigged. But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So I want a couple comments here. Scott says, I love Jil Jones' album, but I remember wishing Prince had kept G-Spot and Trip and a Half for himself. Still, she did a great job on those songs. I actually have an opposite opinion. And again, we can all disagree. Remember our community guidelines. We can choose to disagree. I love Jill's version of Baby Your Trip. And also it might be because I heard that version first. I really love Jill's version. So when I hear it on originals, I'm going to be honest, whenever I listen to Prince's version, it just compels me to put on Jill's version. Like I would rather listen to Jill's version. G-Spot, same thing, because the Jil Jones's album was an event for me. Like I loved Jill. So,
I mean, but you had been waiting on her because you were like hip to JJ. And by the way, guys, if y'all have not read Prof Duff's Jil Jones article, y'all should go read that article, because I think that's one of the few articles that gives Jil's her props and her flowers. And I think a lot of people don't know all the history about Jil and what she was doing. I think we appreciate Brother Tudahl for giving it there, but I really do think that people should read your article about just how pivotal and essential Jil Jones was in layering backing vocals and making the vocals sound like you cannot tell the story of Prince's early vocal sound without Jil Jones's voice. So yeah, check out. I'm glad. Yeah, she's put it in the in the chat.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat, and also it look, this is the cover, and you can actually download a PDF if you click on the second link, and there's actually a lot of great articles in there. And then I think Boombox Guru. Yes, of course, I own a physical copy of Jil's album. Perhaps someone could bring it to me so I can show.
Mysterious hand.
Yes, and while you're at it, just bring me the 12 inches too, particularly the Mia Boca one and the For Love one. All the ones with the
I'm getting my songs confused. Is Mia Boca? I have only had one lover. Is that Mia Boca? Yes. Is that another song? Okay.
Yeah. And it's also the song, when Mary Sharon comes out in her birthday suit.
There we go.
It's just an instrumental in that party. I call it the birthday party scene.
Let's get this party rocking.
Yes. Doom, doom, doom. And then let's see. Tala Sophie, I respect your opinion. I personally don't think that she's parroting Prince. And that's the reason why I love her version over of Baby Your Trip. Yeah, over Prince's. So, I mean, with any song that Prince gave to someone else to record, he always had a guide vocal. Like he always did that. And for me, I thought that Jil took it and made it her own. All right. So give me 1 second. I got a delivery.
There we go. Mysterious Hand is in the house.
Okay, special delivery. So this is Jil Jones's record. It's one of my favorite covers, especially you have to take into context. I had seen the Vanity Sixes and Apollonia Sixes, and Jil is totally covered. I so respected that.
Tell them who that homage is to.
This homage to Marilyn Monroe.
There we go.
And I was also a Marilyn fan. But it's over, like you can see it here. And I always loved Jil's logo, which I thought was really incredible. Just like when I first saw the Dirty Mind album, it screamed freedom to me. This also screamed freedom to me, but it came from a female, because at the time, there were a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it? Politics around being a female, things you could and could not do. And I just love that it appeared that Jil could do whatever she wanted, that she was free. When I see this cover, I see freedom. So it really spoke to me as a young girl in my mid-teens. And I also loved how happy she was on the back of the cover and all of that. So that's the album, Boombox. And then we got the first 12-inch from Mia Boca. I got it signed by my wonderful Jil Jones. I love Jil Jones so much. And this is one of my favorite covers. Like, she has almost like the Kiss video with the woman has a veil over, Jil has a veil over it. And then I love all these mouths that are on the back. And then this had a B-side, which was 77 Bleecker Street, which is one of my favorite B-sides. And 77 Bleecker Street was actually at the time the address of Steve Stevens. And Steve Stevens is the guitarist for Billy Idol. And I got to see Billy Idol and Steve Stevens twice last year, and my life was so transformed. I waited decades, 40 years to see Billy Idol live, and it was incredible. So I really love 77 Bleecker Street. And then we have, well, this is, I actually have the 7-inch of this. The 7-inch actually has an image of Jill on the cover. So maybe I could have a special delivery of the 7-inch of G Spot. But this is the 12-inch. And this also had a B-side. And this B-side didn't have any Prince involvement. It was called Baby Cries Ay Ay. And Angie Stone co-wrote Baby Cries Ay Ay.
There you go.
So this also has, a remix on it. So this was, and you can see the G Spot there. This sleeve was like a basic sleeve that a lot of 12 inches would come in. But you can see like the Paisley Park logo on here. So this is that 12-inch.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Then my favorite cover of all of them is not the front cover, but the back cover. This is For Love. And For Love is amazing if you listen to the For Love Foreplay remix, because Prince is in this all over it. And it was so great to hear. A lot of times when it came to Prince and his proteges, his voice would be in the background and you had to listen to headphones. But on this particular remix, his voice was out. Like you knew it was Prince, and it was amazing. You could tell that they were having fun. But this, by far, is my favorite photo of Jill because she looks so happy. And I love the logo for Love with the heart in it. It's really, really amazing. And I want to see. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, these are the 12 inches. And, I got my singles. Hold on. So,
and you are helping people out because a lot of people are saying that they've never even seen some of these. So,
great. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear it. So this, I wish, was on the G Spot 12-inch because this is the G Spot 7-inch, the 45. It's an amazing photo that you have here. And then this is what the back looks like here. And let's see what this because I haven't pulled this out in a while. And you can see the Paisley Park Records logo there. So that's the G Spot 7-inch. And then here is the For Love. This is so cute. My little mini 7-inch of the 12-inch, but this is the 45. I love this. I just love the back and the front of the cover, but this is by far my favorite. And then you can see the Paisley Park label. So yeah.
Yeah. That is great. Thank you. That is great.
So
I was gonna say, I wish somebody would have done a deep dive before she died. That Angie Stone, because you have that song by Angie Stone, and then you have "You Make My Sunshine" with Angie Stone, and so clearly Angie Stone was somebody that Prince respected. And I've seen her like briefly talk about knowing Prince and working with Prince, but I really wish somebody would have done a deep dive before she made her transition to talk about just that relationship, because that's one of those artist, musician, songwriting relationships that we know Prince held in a high respect. And I just wish somebody could have done that. That's it.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you so much, Baby Love, for letting me know. It's 28 degrees in Alabama. Yeah, I still have family there, so that's good to know. Go ahead.
And to Scott McCullough, I'm not gonna argue with you. We've talked about this a lot, all of us in our different Paisley Park releases, non-Prince Paisley Park releases. So yeah, I think that Jil Jones is I'm a Cinderella story. I'm a George. I'm a George Clinton. So George Clinton's two albums on Paisley Park for me were like my favorite. Although I think that Tony Lamont's album is a really fine album. It's a really good album. But I like George Clinton's Cinderella Story, and then the one right after Cinderella Story with Seven Dope Dogs on it and all that. But I wouldn't argue about the Jil Jones project and being a top one. And I know that Prof Dust, I think, has another favorite Paisley Park release.
I mean, Madhouse, but
Yeah,
I consider Madhouse Prince. So if you take Prince off the table, for me, it would be Jil Jones.
There we go.
Yeah, it would be Jil Jones because I love her so much. Now, I love this coming from Blade Brown. I think this is fantastic because if Jill would have come out around 82, 83, she probably would have gotten the Alan Bolio treatment, and that would have been phenomenal. Thank you, Blade Brown, for making that point. And yeah, Cinderella Story was Paisley Park. And TPSA Angie Stone did a video on her YouTube channel where she talks about initially meeting Prince. She said he gave her some studio equipment, if I remember correctly.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, TP. Appreciate it.
Let's see. I think I got everybody's comments. And I wanted to do, let me do this Dear Estate moment for Ricky. So, Dear Estate, it would be so great to have Jil Jones solo LP, the 7 inches, the 12 inches, all the remixes and B-sides released because it was an incredible project. And Prince did some phenomenal work on that particular project. One of my favorite things, C. Lee, is I don't know when, but like all the stems for G-Spot got, well, not all the bass and the guitar stems got leaked of G-Spot. And man, Prince was playing his butt off. It was so great to hear those stems. Like those are the first stems I ever got.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, and then Duke Swan says, yeah, Violet Blue was the last song written for the album. I like all of the songs except for With You. I don't like covers, as you know. and I know that Prince wanted her to cover that. I don't, look at, see? Yes.
Never pride.
Yes. 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 Like if you know, F is for frustration. So G-Spot for me when Jill is singing it is the one for me. So yes. All right. Oh, okay. This is a great question. I've never really thought about this because I love the album so much. And I can tell you my least favorite, which was, I just told you, which is With You. My favorite, I can tell you in real time, my favorite was Baby You're a Trip because I would play that intro over and over and over again. I wouldn't even get to the album. I would just play the intro over and over again. But I think now, on the album proper, it's probably Violet Blue. But in this era, it's actually Baby Cries I. And Prince didn't have anything to do with it. I love the verse and the chorus on Baby Cries I. It just has this sass to it. And you can kind of tell like two females wrote it. It was just something about it. It's like, it's really, really special. Oh, El Michelle, you're right. Take that back. All Day, All Night. What am I talking about? Yes, right. It's All Day, All Night. It's just that I was thinking, because we were talking about All Day, All Night last week, I was thinking about Prince's version and the live version that they did at First Avenue. Yes, All Day, All Night, because I prefer Bill's version over Prince's. Yes. Thank you for that.
So lead that up. I got an unfair question for you. And I'm thinking 2 songs, but it's more.
Uh-oh.
Favorite Prince song that he gave to someone else and then later took back and made it part of his regular live playing. And the 2 for me that stand out are All Day, All Night and Shh.
Oh,
Those are like my two. Those are like my two favorite Prince songs that he gave them to someone else. They did what they did, and then later Prince would play them a lot. And so those two, those are third one that popped in, but those two, I just think because I love live, I love like All Day All Night is just killer. But then when you hear right live too, I think those two for me, I like. Anybody else got any in the chat? There you go.
for me, it would also be shh. That's the reason why I named the symposium off of it. Look
Right,
at Kim.
right.
We're veering off.
My bad, Kim.
But
I want to say, I still love Tevin Campbell's version. I want everybody to know. Now, of course, I love Prince's. Yeah, you know, okay. No, hold on. Let me tell you a really quick story. Okay. So if you remember, like Tevin Campbell had this heat, and so it was everybody's waiting on Tevin Campbell's new album, right? And so, as to pub it, everybody knew that Babyface and Prince were going to be the key songwriters for Tevin Campbell's new album. And everybody was like, I don't know if you remember this in real time, but everybody was like, well, we could see Babyface, but Prince shouldn't be writing for Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell's such a sweet baby, and this, that, and other. So Tevin Campbell's album comes out, and our local radio station plays. I'm in one end of the house, Monica's in another end of the house. When goes out the radio, Monica yells, well, we know which song Prince wrote. I was like, that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't fair. That ain't right. No, I couldn't argue. But that, like, she immediately, yeah, we know Babyface didn't write that one. So anyway, but go ahead. But go ahead. You didn't like it. Go ahead, Tim. I didn't go ahead.
I mean, I didn't like it because he was too young, and I didn't believe him.
Okay.
I mean, why would Prince give him that song at that time?
Right. I'm with you.
Like, really, Prince? That's when I was like, like, really? And it's such a fantastic song. I mean,
right.
That too. I mean, but it was really like, he's too young for that, Prince. Don't you know that? Yeah.
So you had that Monica moment. Yeah, we know we know what song Prince wrote.
Yes. And the other song for me is Dance Electric.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, because that's one of my probably top 10, if not top 5 Prince songs. I adore that song.
I'm glad Karan put in Mutiny. Mutiny is also a good one. Mutiny, Mutiny. Yeah. Hey, look here, Karan, you making me question. You may be making me question because he did do Mutiny to death.
Yeah. And Harold is saying, definitely she doesn't get acknowledged enough, but Kirk Johnson's sister Kathleen does background vocals. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
On both versions. She was one of his best vocal partners. I did not know that Kathleen was Kirk Johnson's sister, Harold. So I am learning something today. Thank you for that.
Side note. I actually went to an AutoZone with Kirky J's mom.
Yes, you told us that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You told us that.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Kirky J's mom at the AutoZone. That's a really random memory. Go ahead.
Okay, I love this context. For Porter's telling me Tevin was 18 years old. I still didn't believe him.
Was he that old?
Was he? Because I didn't think he was that old.
Well, was he 13, 14 when Tomorrow comes out, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
And then we know Graffiti Bridge is in 90. What year does Tevin that album? Because is that Tevin's first or second album? Yeah, Prince. Yeah, I'm ready. So go back to that quote. Go back. What was the?
It was just about the 3 songs.
Yeah. So, including I'm ready. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I keep doing that.
No, he may be. Yeah, he may be. I thought he was a little bit younger than 18, but okay.
Boombox Guru is saying I thought Tevin was 16. Could somebody figure it out for us? Like go to Wikipedia and figure out.
So someone said in 93 he would have turned 17. Okay.
Oh, and so Chris Bournet is saying, I thought Tevin was 10 when Tomorrow came out, so he was 15 for sure. Okay. Karan is saying
second album. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Karan. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Blade Brown said, "Nah, he was around 15, 16."
I mean, I will admit, even in real time, I thought he was too young for the song. I will admit, I was that, and that was right. Y'all correct me or not. That was right at that time when we started getting these young acts doing these kind of really grown songs. Because if you go back, like the Jackson 5 weren't really doing grown songs or sensual songs like that. And I think it was like in the 90s when we started getting younger acts doing like kind of grown folk music, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that really started happening until like the 90s.
Yeah. So, I
Anyway,
mean,
sorry about the rabbit hole, y'all.
it's okay. Depending on when his birthday is, if the I'm Ready came out in 1993, he was born in 1976, so he was either 16 or 17.
Okay, there we go. So still a little too young for that song.
Yeah. I love this comment from Jared Dances. Sorry, I didn't believe Tevin was ready, no matter how old he was.
You know what? That reminds me of the female comic had the joke. Tevin Campbell's song, "Tell me what you want me to do," and she said, "I want you to go get your goddamn uncle, you little bastard. Go get your uncle. That's what I want you to do."
All right. See, Harold's saying Prince's guitar on Tevin's version, along with Claire Fisher's arrangement, make it as unique as Prince's version. Both are fantastic. I need to go back and listen to Tevin's version. I never listened to Tevin's version. I don't even know if I listened to Tevin's version in real time, just because I don't know. I just thought he was too young.
Well, let me say this, but when I say the Jackson 5s, what I meant was they weren't doing like sexually suggestive songs. That's what I mean. Yeah. Who's Loving You? That's a grown person song. But when I say grown, I meant like I should have said sexually suggestive. Does that make sense? So in the chat, let me know if I'm making sense. So I didn't mean, so I misspoke. Instead of saying grown, I should have said sexually suggestive. I don't think the Jackson 5 were doing what would be considered sexually suggestive songs. If that makes sense. That's what I think I meant. Well, that's what I meant. My bad, y'all.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, because I'm timekeeper, we want to do you mind reading Wednesday, January 20th?
Man, wait a minute. I don't know why I keep putting it up. Like
I don't either.
Wednesday, January 29th, 1986, with you. Mix, overdubs, edit, and copy. Sunset Sound, Studio 3, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Booked, locked out. Producer Prince, artist Prince, engineer Coke Johnson. A brief session that had Prince adding guitar and piano overdubs to With You was the final work done on Jil Jones' album for several weeks. A quick mix and likely an edit were completed during the last 30 minutes before it was output to 2 C60 tapes. The session ended after that. I will say this. So With You closes the Prince album, right? And that's if you were like me, like us, like I listened to that second Prince album like almost. Oh, we read. So I went to sleep with that Prince album a lot. So I went to sleep with You.
Mm-hmm.
So it means something kind of sonically to me in that. Yet I think what I appreciated that even though she covered it, she wasn't trying to do it exactly note for note, if that makes sense. And so, but it was still Prince's song. So it was one of those, because I had such an intimate relationship with it. And then like covers, I didn't want it on her album. But I at least appreciated that they tried to do something different. That's it.
Yeah, I still wish it wasn't on the album.
Right.
Yeah, it really it disrupts the album for me. I always skip it. And I love the album. I mean,
right.
I love that album. That it would have been perfect if it wasn't for With You, in my personal opinion. Okay, so Boombox Guru said, what y'all say, Ready for the World kind of started the suggestive songs by young artists with Love You Down. I never listened to Ready for the World. I don't know how old they were. They appear to be older than Tevin Campbell, though.
Yeah, they were all like in their like late teens, early 20s, if I'm not mistaken. Like they were all late teens, like 17, 18, 19, if I remember correctly. That they weren't pre-preen or prepubescents or anything like that. Like Ready for the World, you could see them like at a college somewhere. At least that's how they came across for me.
This is what we really need, Ricky.
Right. There we go. There we go. And Brother Pride, I stand corrected. I did not know that Jackson 5 lyric from the 70s. So I stand corrected. So there you go. I didn't know that Jackson 5 lyric. So hey, I'll back off then. I'll back off. But I just, I just didn't remember the Jackson 5 being sexually suggestive the way a lot of the younger groups were in the 90s. But I may just be old man hating too, right? I may just be old man hating on the 90s.
Oh, perhaps. Hold on. All right. So I'm going to read the next one, which is Thursday, January 30th, 1986. Wonderful Day tracking mix. Wonderful Day.
It's a wonderful day.
Mix. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Under the Cherry Moon instrumental version. No orchestra mix. Likely mix. Oh Friends for Sale. Strings only. Likely mix. Parade album commercial review and sampling of songs for ad. Sunset Sound, Studio 3, 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. Booked, locked out. Producer Prince, artist Prince and the Revolution. Engineers Coke Johnson and Susan Rogers. I am going to read the quote. Susan Rogers says, the songs came so fast and furious. Wonderful Day was one that we didn't spend much time on. I don't remember much about it. It was one of those that he spat out in probably less than a day, laid it down very fast. Prince continued working on music, not only for Parade, but for future projects of his own and his proteges, likely for the simple reason that he just liked to record and couldn't stop. And this is Prince. I want the biggest shelf in the record store, the most titles. I know they're not all going to sell, but I know somebody's going to buy at least one of each. And that is correct, Prince.
He knew you was out there. He knew you was out there waiting.
He knew. If somebody who has a book, if you don't mind looking up when this quote was made, the year, I would really love it. It's we're in January 86. It is the 28th note. So if you don't mind doing that, put in the chat. You'd be my best friend. Okay, starting at 6 p.m., Prince went back to the idea that was planted 2 days earlier when scoring the Venus De Milo scene. Inspired by that, he recorded Wonderful Day until midnight, laying down synth drums, bass, guitar, piano, and a keyboard part that sounded like a word that I can't pronounce. It's whatever is calliope. His addition of a real hi-hat cymbal gave the song a more human feel. Understanding why Prince recorded certain songs can be difficult, but Susan Rogers explained why she felt he created this track. As I can recall, Wonderful Day was one of those songs, almost like Christopher Tracy's Parade on the Parade album, where it serves a function of getting the album started. It served a musical function because you need something upbeat here, and it also served a storytelling function. Wonderful Day is something he did very quickly, and for all I know, may have intended to replace later on with another upbeat song once he had a little bit more time to find the right thing. That is a very interesting comment. Okay, at midnight, Prince created multiple mixes of the song, one of them without any vocals, and two before Wendy would add her vocals the following day, and probably also worked on an instrumental mix of Under the Cherry Moon and a string-only mix of Old Friends for Sale, both of which were created and considered for the movie. The last 90 minutes in the studio were spent gathering samples of various songs from Parade for a radio spot to advertise the album. It is unclear if he was present during this part or if he simply asked his engineer to find the samples for him. Wendy and Lisa would be tasked with recording the minute-long narration for the commercial at some point before the ad was completed in late April. The session ended at 2:30 a.m. Do we know if this ad exists on YouTube somewhere? Status, work on Wonderful Day, 3 minutes, 48 seconds, would continue the following day. It was used during the scene that contains Prince and Jerome's butterscotch chocolate scene. And the
Honey, don't you know I slapped the waves out of your head?
Yes. The full version remained unreleased during Prince's lifetime, but was included on the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe Edition in 2020. An extended mix containing Wendy and Lisa, 7 minutes and 34 seconds, was also included on that collection. And that is why that song should be in a Parade box set, because the instrumental was in Under the Cherry Moon. But that's
exactly. So Sister Christina, I thought it was an older quote. Sister Christina put the quote comes from 1996, and I think it comes from Forbes, 1996. Yeah, so I always thought that was an older quote because that was when he was talking about the whole emancipation, the slave thing, the battle
Mhm.
with Warner Brothers. That's a quote that I always associate with his battle with Warner Brothers. So thank you, Sister Christina.
Yeah. So I actually don't like the vocal version of Wonderful Day, but I love, 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 love the instrumental in Under the Cherry Moon, under the butterscotch chocolate scene. So it just goes to show you that sometimes you don't need vocals. Sometimes a song can change with the addition of vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that is like exhibit A.
And I think this is perfect because I am just the opposite. And you like, and it's funny for me because it's a quirky song with the vocals. Like the vocals make it very quirky. That little note thing. I remember the first time I heard that. I like what I was kind of like, what is happening? What is going on with that note? Like that note. But I got it because it fit the atmosphere of the movie, right? It fit the atmosphere of whimsy and all of that. So yeah, so I actually like the one with the vocals because it makes it more quirky for me. And so along with everything else I love about Under the Cherry Moon, it gives me that quirkiness that I also love from Under the Cherry Moon. So we can be like, but I like to point that how lyrics and vocals change a song and will like make it depending on how people enter it that way. Anyway, that's it. I'll set up.
Yes. All right. I've been slacking. I should have our comments on the stage. All right. So do you mind
Yes.
reading our final? It's super quick.
Friday, January 31st, 1986. Wonderful Day, listed as It's a Wonderful Day, overdubs Wendy and Lisa vocals, mixed copies. Wonderful Day instrumental, likely mix. Wonderful Day extended mix, edit mix. Sunset Sound Studio 3, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Booked, locked out. Means they were there all damn day. Producer Prince, artist Prince, engineer Coke Johnson. You want the Wendy quote?
Yes.
As Prince and the Revolution, so this is Wendy's quote, as Prince and the Revolution, there's probably 4 albums in the vote from that era, but we worked on other people's stuff, especially Lisa and I worked on a lot of other offshoots of the band and other people he was working with. I think there's probably 4 in there. I hope that they get to be heard. End of quote. Today's session started only a few hours after the previous session ended. In the past, he just burned out many of his engineers, but his current Sunset Sound staff engineer, Coke Johnson, had a different philosophy about their time in the studio and the demands Prince would place on everyone around him. This is Coke Johnson. Quote, Prince would overwork just about anybody, recalls Johnson. Continued quote, his work ethic was so strong that Peggy didn't want to spend 2 full nights in the studio. That might have been where he was because I would just go in there and crash out on the couch and wake up and get a hamburger the next morning and be good to go for another 10 to 12 hours. There was nothing more important in my life than working in the studio and recording with Prince. That was priority one, end of quote. When the session started at 11 a.m., Wendy and Lisa joined Prince to work on Wonderful Day and helped contribute 8 hours of additional overdubs, including at least 2 hours of vocals before the song was mixed. Quote, we helped him with Wonderful Day. We didn't write it, but we helped him. I think he liked my voice, Wendy recalls. He came to us with this seed and he said, and this is Prince's quote, what are you going to do with this, end quote. And so we helped him kind of plant the seeds, if you can think of that in terms of music. That's what we kind of offered him, end quote. Once that was finished and a safety copy of the mix was created, 4 C60 cassettes were dubbed and the session ended at 10 p.m., which was early for Prince. He, Wendy, and Lisa were flying back to Minneapolis to begin rehearsals with the Revolution, but first Prince would attend a performance by Mazarati the following evening.
All right. So that's a lot of work on Wonderful Day. So it's obviously sort of counters what Susan said about it sort of just being a possible placeholder. I don't think he would spend that much time on something that was just a placeholder. And let's see, what is everybody talking about? Okay. So Kim is going off track. Look at that. We got Kim going off track. Y'all had me going off road with Tevin Talk, and now I'm remembering that Tevin album had some jams on it.
Yeah. I think we all love Tevin, Kim.
I love him as an artist and vocalist. Yes.
Oh, well,
here's the deal. I never like Round and Round. Not the version that's in the Graffiti Bridge. Now, there's another version that I love that should have been in the film, and then maybe I would have liked Tevin. But because my introduction to Tevin was with Round and Round, and he was a kid,
right?
I wasn't into kid singers. I just wasn't into kid singers, and I didn't like Round and Round.
What about the live version on Arsenio Hall? Did you like the live version on Arsenio Hall? No? Okay.
No. And I think, and I'm not saying, I know that Tevin is an amazing vocalist. It's not that. It's just that sometimes I think that Prince's songs, for instance, like there was a song he gave to Bonnie Raitt, and there was a song he gave to Joni Mitchell. After I heard those songs, I totally understand why they didn't record them.
Right.
It didn't fit. And so
especially the one that Joni Mitchell, was it Electric Pump that he gave to Joni Mitchell? That's like, why would he think she would sing this?
Yeah. So like similarly, I just feel like he didn't give Tevin the material that was suited for Tevin. So yeah. When it comes to Shanice, the only Shanice song that I know and I love is I Love Your Smile. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty infectious song. Let's see what Harold's talking about. Production on It's a Wonderful Day is a major look forward to Princess Prince. Ooh, I love this. Production style for the Batman soundtrack. I'll take that, Harold. Love that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Drea agrees. Emotional Pump is a no for Joni.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand why that was a consideration. So yeah. Okay. We have our final reading of the day, which is Saturday, February 1st, 1986, venue Roy Wilkins Auditorium, St. Paul, Minnesota, capacity 5,000, attendance unknown, guest appearance Mazarati. Prince and Brown Mark joined Mazarati on stage for 15 minutes at the Winter Carnival's Fun Fair for a performance of America. I would love to hear that. That has got to be scorching. We do have a photo. Oops, let me get you to the right tab. So this is a photo from February 1st, 1986. Now, this would have been something to see because we haven't seen this Prince yet because Parade is not out yet. That doesn't happen until March.
Right.
Under Cherry Moon doesn't come out to July. We saw the America video, but he is in Christopher Tracy mode, but not this Christopher Tracy mode with the midriff and all of that. So, yeah. All right. So let's see. So far in 1986, we have, this should be 2 live appearances because of the AMAs. My apologies. I have to fix that. And I'll add the AMAs. And then we have 22 studio sessions so far, 9 new songs total. This week, it was Wonderful Day. And as you can see, it's been a while since he's tracked a new song. The last time was January 12th. In Prince world, that's like a long time for song tracking. And I think Raywin already, someone told us earlier in the episode that obviously Hit and Run Phase 1 and 2 have been released on vinyl for the first time. So hopefully you'll pick them up. And in terms of the conversation that Celie mentioned at the beginning of the episode that me and Dr. Fedara Hatley had about Prince, after screening of Prince and Revolution Live, you can watch it on the Schomburg Center's YouTube channel, but I've also included the conversation in my accompanying playlist that you can find all the way at the bottom of the screen. And also earlier that day, I had an opportunity to be on all of it. I was hoping it was going to be Alison Stewart, but she had a guest on. Her name was Tiffany. I can't remember her last name. But what was cool about it is that a lot of fans called in and talked about their favorite Prince moments, and a lot of them were Prince live moments, which was really great. So it was fun for me to hear from other people. And in both cases, it's like non-Prince spaces, and I really love being in non-Prince spaces, just to figure out where people are. Um, and let's see. So let's see what Scott's talking about. Scott, to your opening statement, Prince was very happy during this time. Yes, songs, wonderful day, and life can be so nice. The hard question is, did Prince have more hits when he did darker songs? What do you think about that, Celie? That's a good question.
I'll tell you what Scott's question initially made me think about was not that the question specifically, but how we define and determine darker and lighter songs, happier, or because I know we tend to associate dark Prince, moody Prince, angry Prince with much of the stuff before Purple Rain, right? And maybe because I also saw him live 3 times before Purple Rain, that the songs don't come over as dark and moody to me, if that makes sense. That because I saw Prince, so I got to see Prince open for Rick James, I got to see the Controversy tour, and I got to see the 1999 tour. I saw a dude having a lot of fun on stage. Or what, and you have to also understand at the same time, I'm growing up seeing B.B. King live. Like my first 2 live experiences was B.B. King and then Prince, right? Those are my first 2 live experiences. So I think Scott's question is a really good question. I think the question I would like to add to that is, how are we actually defining darker, angrier, even gritty? I would say maybe grittier. Because say for me, like a song like Sexuality is a really political song that I don't necessarily see as a dark song. It probably could come across as angry, but then I don't know if I want to call it angry or passionate. So I think he's raising a really good question. I just like to say within the question to kind of explore, because I also wonder what things get, just how do we label dark and angry, right, songs along with light and upbeat songs as well? Because I'm also thinking about, like you said, I'm thinking about like June. I'm also thinking about there was another song that just kind of left my head. Anyway, I'll let you in, and then I'll come back. Right.
Yep. So Scott, are you saying you saw BB King and Prince, or another 3 concerts?
I think he's talking about those first 3 concerts: Prince opening for Rick James, Controversy, and then 1999.
Okay, got it. And let's see, because I'm trying to do 2 things at one time. Oh, this is a good question, Love Sexy. I would not label Thieves in the Temple a dark song, even though it's about thieves in the temple. Thieves in the Temple is a song, it's like my revival song. If you've ever been to a revival, and only if you've been to a revival, you'll understand. Like usually down south in the revival, you would go when they were real revivals, because
right, tent revivals.
Yeah, tent revivals or the full week revivals, like when you're in church. It's something about it. So it's like a catharsis. And whenever I listen to Thieves in the Temple, I don't know why, particularly the whole song, I just kind of go through this whole catharsis. So whenever I think of Thieves in the Temple, I'm not sad. I'm actually more joyful. But I'm sure that's not the case for many people. So Celie, I'm curious, like what it is like for you.
Yeah, it's, what you made me think about in this song. I don't know if you may have heard it. There's a song that you sung a lot during revival and also during communion. I Know It Was the Blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as a child, so those who don't know, there's a song in Baptist church and black churches called I Know It Was the Blood that you would sing when you're taking communion. when I was a child, that song scared the hell out of me. I just want you to know. Also, because we would do communion. We wouldn't do communion during church. We'd have to go back when it was nighttime. So we doing this damn blood ritual thing. You have to understand, you 6 years old, and in your mind, you 6. This is a damn blood ritual. Then they singing a song, I know it was the blood, and old people crying. Then there's a stanza go like, if I die tonight, it's well with my soul. Like, no, I'm 6. I ain't all like y'all. It is not well within my soul. But it speaks to your point about how blues and spirituals are able to simultaneously acknowledge the bad and celebrate the overcoming of it simultaneously. Right? I think if you want to talk about what is the key to Black music, what is that thing in Black music? Well, both the blues and spirituals can discuss the most heart-wrenching thing, the most painful thing, and simultaneously celebrate the overcoming in it. And so from that standpoint, you are right about Thieves in the Temple, right? Thieves in the Temple, because I thought Thieves in the Temple, when I talk about Thieves in the Temple, it is a double entendre, so to speak, of it fits the movie, right? Because it's more literally stealing aura, right? So that's the little, but it's also a metaphor that Morris represents money being more important to the industry than art. So Morris is a double thief. So if you watch the movie Graffiti Bridge, if you watch the video Graffiti Bridge, Morris is a double thief. He's stealing his love, which is aura, but Morris, the club owner, Morris, the business owner, is a metaphor for the CEOs and the suits that we know that by now Prince was sick of them. And so they are stealing the love of music, the soul of music, yet simultaneously what you get in Thieves in the Temple is, yes, you lied, yes, you told me these things, but I'm still going to overcome. I'm still going to survive because this music, you cannot steal it. So even though Thieves in the Temple is lamenting, it's also celebrating the overcoming at the same time it's lamenting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's how it reads for me personally. It's like how can you, like, you know, you've gone through the fire, you're on the other side, and you know there's like a rejoice. I don't know. It's again, so like, you know, what's really great about music, and the reason why, you know, Scott Woods tells me to stay out of taste conversations, which I should. Scott, I should listen to you. But everybody experiences music differently. Like, so you know, you may view Thieves in the Temple as a dark song or a melancholy song, whatever emotion you want to attach to it. I don't. I mean, I truly don't. I never have. Especially also when you see him perform it live.
Yep.
Whenever you see him perform it live, it never reads as, you know, negative. I always like feel rejuvenated, alive. It gives me, that song actually is one of Prince's songs that truly gives me life.
Right.
I could be down. If I listen to Thieves in the Temple, by the end of that song, I am no longer down. Because like, it's like I've gone through the storm and I'm out.
Right, exactly. That's it. And so I like what Dread Dancer says about, you know, I know it was the blood. You're right, and that's what I was trying to communicate. So I hope I communicated that. But I think Dread Dancers communicates that perfectly. And so yes, so yes to you, Dread Dancers, and to Brother Pride's point about the demo. What I found interesting about Thieves in the Temple. So doing Act 1, right, the Act 1 tour, right, Prince is doing Thieves in the Temple with the acoustic guitar, right, and he killed it. But do you know my favorite live Thieves in the Temple, and he only does a smidgen of it, is from Rock in Rio.
Oh yeah.
Because I love the vocalization of it. So I love to Brother Pride's point, when he's doing it on the Act 1 tour, it's a much more bluesy. When he does it on Rock in Rio with the piano, it's much more gospel. And again, that's Prince playing that gospel that gospel, secular, blues, spiritual. There we go, Thomas Dorsey, right? So for those of you who don't know, so just so we can say this, Thomas Dorsey is the godfather of gospel. Here's what people don't know about Thomas Dorsey being the godfather of gospel. Prof. Duff, did you know that Thomas Dorsey was supposed to have been the next blues superstar?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Thomas Dorsey. I don't want to say a name because I don't get my timeline right. Watch graffiti free, right? But Thomas Dorsey. I think before Muddy Waters, Thomas Dorsey was supposed to have been the next blues superstar. You know what happened? His infant child died. And so Thomas Dorsey, after singing the blues, and like when I say he was like on the precipice, like he was like about to blow and be the next great blues star. His infant child dies, and he writes "Precious Lord, Take My Hand." So Thomas Dorsey then writes "Precious Lord, Take My Hand," and then takes all of his blues aesthetic into gospel. And in fact, Thomas Dorsey was initially not liked by the church crowd because it was too bluesy. It was too. So Thomas Dorsey, let me put it in perspective. And I hate this, let's say it this way, but hopefully people understand what I mean. Thomas Dorsey was the first Kurt Franklin. So if you remember when Kurt Franklin first came out, and how see, some of y'all not old enough to remember that Curtis Franklin was hated by older church folk because he was bringing all that hip hop, all that bunkety bunk music into the church. Well, the first person to do that was Thomas Dorsey. Thomas Dorsey basically took from the juke joint what the juke joint had taken from the church, right? So the juke joint had taken spirituals and made it secular. Thomas Dorsey took the juke joint and brought it back to the church and became the first, basically the godfather of gospel. So if you've ever lived in these churches, you may not remember those little old red little booklets called the Gospel Pearls. So look up Gospel Pearls. Probably 50% of the songs that are considered the Gospel Pearls were written by, there you go, LTKK, were written by Thomas Dorsey, who, coming back to our timekeeper's point about sinners, yes, so you do have to think about Thomas Dorsey when you're talking about sinners. And damn, I hate that I did. I think I may have mentioned Thomas Dorsey when I was talking about sinners, but I'm not sure. So thank you, Kim, for evoking the name Thomas Dorsey when we're talking about Prince doing his gospel spiritual combination. I'll shut up.
All right. So a couple of things. Baby Love wants us to know what we do. I would love to do a symposium at a HBCU in Alabama, but the issue with doing the symposia in person is that even though they are free, and it's really important for me that they are free, they cost money. And I'm literally right now going around with my hat in hand, begging for money from different units at NYU to make sure that we can have the one in April in person. And we did have one at Spelman College. So while it wasn't an HBCU in Alabama, at least it was an HBCU in Georgia. And that's when I was at Spelman. So, but yes.
And highlight Far Porter, you're absolutely right. I don't want to leave out the Wayans or Andre Crouch. Because yes, you're right that they also were kind of, and even if you go to the Clark sisters, but yeah. So I just want to acknowledge that yes, they were also really, really influential in injecting new sounds into what would have been by that time Thomas Dorsey's traditional. So thank you for that. That I don't ever want to, because people forget when Andre Crouch was that dude, and the Whalens were that group. But I want to specifically, Andre Crouch was that dude, and people forget. When Andre Crouch, particularly if you're from the South. So if you're from the South or on that Northern church circuit, Andre Crouch, and then with the Wayans with Tomorrow. I mean, that song Tomorrow. Look, if you've never heard the song Tomorrow by the Wayans, you ain't heard it. You need to hear that song. All right, I'll shut up.
So I just want to say really quickly, thank you so much for offering your support. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to make money off of Prince, because trust me, I am not. So, in fact, I'm spending a lot of my own money on Prince. And so I don't want that perception. I mean, because I've seen, where people, I don't know. I can't do it. I don't want to be accused of, because that's not what it's about. So I try to get institutional support whenever I can. Let's see. Dr. Claus 77 says, "Under Crouch to God Be the Glory" made its way into several hymnals.
Yep, exactly.
I want to go back to this comment that Harold made, because I never thought about this, and I think it's a really important comment. All of Harold's comments are important, but I also think there's something to be said about, Thieves in the Temple being his first single of the decade after the close of the 80s. I've never thought about it in that light. So thank you so much for that, Harold. All right. So let's see. Well, actually, Baby Love, just so you know, my mom's alma mater is actually Alabama A&M. So I actually went to Alabama A&M as a little girl. I think when I was 3 or 4, when my mom graduated. So yeah, we love Alabama.
And this has nothing to do with anything. But since I'm a diehard second generation Jackson State University graduate, Baby Love, we gonna crunch y'all again next year when football season come around. All right, I'm playing. Let's go. Let's move on. So, Baby Love, put y'all back in the chat. We can move on. Yeah, that's it. Let's move on.
All right. And Andre wants to know, thank you for giving Detroit's own this wine as their props. I didn't know that the wine is from Detroit. So thank you, Andre, for that. Okay, so I am going to hide the comments for that. So what's coming up is our 3-day symposium, and it's a hybrid, our first hybrid. And what does that mean? That means Friday is going to be virtual, and Saturday and Sunday is going to be in person in Brooklyn at 370 J Street, where we've had Erotic City 40 and Triple Threat 40. And the symposium website where you can learn more. I just posted a schedule at a glance this morning, so you can look at the schedule iwantyou.polishsolid.com to get to pre-register and to hear announcements. And I will be making an announcement soon over at iwantyou40.substack.com. That's how you stay abreast of what's happening when it comes to the actual symposium. So again, April 17th, Friday, will be virtual, and it will be on Zoom events for the presentations and the speakers. And then hopefully we'll have a couple keynotes on YouTube in the latter half. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it will be in person. All right. And for those of you who will be coming or are local, Law is doing an amazing performance. It's going to be something to see. And you can buy tickets to support Law. I don't have anything to do with this, but I'm just grateful that he scheduled this to align with the symposium to give people something to do after our first day. So that's going to be at the cutting room in Manhattan. We're going to be in Brooklyn, so just be aware of that. And doors open at 8:30, and the show will start at 9. So Dr. Arlene Oak had already mentioned this, but the International Center for Prince Studies is also doing a conference in Minneapolis in June. And the conference is from June 2nd to the 4th. I'm glad I'm reading those dates. Why do I feel like those dates are different? I could be wrong. I need to look at those dates again. Okay, so and it's dates.
The first and the second.
I thought it was the first. Okay, thank you, Celia. I was like, am I on crack? Like, yeah, I thought it was the first and the second. Okay. The Cultural, Sonic, and Symbolic Legacy of Prince and Academic and Fan Conference from June 2nd to 4th. And if you have any, I'm not affiliated with this conference. I'm just advertising it because they're amazing scholars. Dr. Kirsty Fairclough, Professor Krista Wise, Dr. Kathy Ritchie. I'm sure I'm missing people. There's a whole posse that's behind the International Center for Prince Studies. That right now there's an open call for There's an open call for presentations. And yeah. And Christina's saying, oh, so it is June 1st to 2nd now.
1st to 2nd, yeah.
Okay, so this, I'm glad because that was going to really screw things up because I was like, if it's not June 1st and 2nd, I'm not going to be able to go. Okay, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I'll make sure to tell Kirsty to change the flyer because that's really throwing me off. Okay. And then also their website is International Center, the number 4 PrinceStudies.com. If you want to know, more, I'm sure they'll be posting more there. And you can always look up Kirsty Fairclough, and that's KirstyFairclough on the social media for those of you who are on there to find out more. And then obviously there's the celebration that will follow. So it makes sense. It must be June 1st to 2nd because they wouldn't overlap it with the celebration, which would be June 3rd through 7th. And obviously, unfortunately, Troy's cancer has returned. This is really heartbreaking to hear, but please send him words of support. I haven't been on social media, so I don't know what's going on with anyone. So let me know in the chat how Troy is doing. But please, send him a kind word or contribute to his GoFundMe. The same with Dr. Funkenberry. Unfortunately, his cancer battle continues. So please send him a kind word. Please support him if you can through his GoFundMe. And the same with Addie Durant, who is also a very important member of the Prince community, who was very pivotal to the audience version of Purple Rain, the audio version of Purple Rain by fans, which is incredible, over on Clubhouse, which you can still hear. And then also Des Dickerson has a GoFundMe. So a lot of GoFundMes. Thank you, Christina. So Troy has started chemo. So again, please send him a kind word. All right. And Arlene said, I think the Center for Prince Studies was announced, I thought of 2 to 4 before the dates of celebration were announced. Okay, got it. Thank you for that. Okay. You're welcome, baby love. I think it's really important that we continue to say Prince's name. So I'm going to support any Prince endeavor. Yes. All right. So we have our company playlist that you can find at the bottom of my YouTube channel at Polished Solid. I have added the conversation from the Schomburg if you're interested at the top. Otherwise, you can find all the songs that we talked about today, except for Tevin's version of and all the Tevin songs and all that, because that was through our conversation. And we cannot forget our dear Ricky. So I have a special Ricky Wyatt playlist. I miss him so. I think about him every day. I've been listening to his voice every day to help me through this transition period. And if you can, please donate to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation in memory of Ricky. I created a bit.ly link, the Flesh, for the Flesh sessions, because that was one of Ricky's favorite projects. And we were talking about the Flesh sessions, unfortunately, when Ricky passed on December 28th. And again, we said this at the beginning of this episode, but I just want to say, we should stand with Minnesota. There are a lot of resources here. So at standwithminnesota.com to help with mutual aid and all of this. Hello, Tanya Pendleton. It's really great to see you here. And Tanja says that Troy's keeping his spirits up. All the kind words and energy will definitely help. And I'm glad I'm not glad that but this is one of the things that we try to do here is to make sure the purple community knows what's going on in the purple world. Yes. Because so I created the playlist before we started the conversation. I didn't know we were going to start talking about Tevin today, but Tevin came up just the same way that I probably won't put Ready for the World in there. We talked about Ready for the World and talked about Bruce Springsteen. We talked about Rage Against the Machine. We talked about Tom. We like talk about so many people. Like I wouldn't be able to eat if I had to go back and find all those things and everything. So yes. Yep. All right. Let's see. Not out of hate, but everybody isn't a lesbian because they've been around Omarion. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Shots fired. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Lauryn Hill is scheduled to sing for the D'Angelo tribute at Sunday's Grammys. See, I didn't even know that the Grammys are on Sunday, so that shows you how much I'm checked in.
I can shout out to my homegirl Rita Brent. She's a comedian from Jackson, Mississippi. She's one of the writers for the Grammys, so I have to give a shout out to a young comic from Mississippi doing her thing. So.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so since Mr. Michael Dean isn't, thank you, Kim. Oh my God. So since Michael Dean isn't with us this week, and we miss Michael, we always miss Michael, take us out.
All right, so I'm gonna take us out doing a couple of quick things. Brother Scott McCullen, I saw you, A&T Ag in the house. Shout out to you at North Carolina A&T folks. The Four Porter put in there the Detroit gospel music versus the modern Chicago gospel music. I ain't getting involved in that whatsoever. That's a debate I ain't getting in. I will say this though. If you never attended a regional or national Baptist commission, you missed out on some of the best gospel music of your life. And LTKK, Prof, can you do this quickly? Mm-hmm. Can you put my email, my C. Lee Mackens email in the chat for LTKK? If it's not, you put that in there for him. And then while she's doing that, Purple Cat Confetti. I'm sorry I didn't tell you that Sinners was a horror movie. But be like me, now that you done seen it once, now you can watch it all the way up to when the vampires show up and turn it off. So, those are just a couple of things that I wanted. I saw a couple of people saying, let's see. LTTK, if you can remember psychedelic literature, that's the name of my website and the name of my Substacks, psychedelic literature. If you go to psychedelic literature, you will find my email, and you can email me either from my website, psychedelic literature, or from my Substack, psychedelic literature. You can email me that way. You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. And I also have banners. It's just that I can't do two things at one time. So let me see if I can find.
There you go. All right, she just put them in there. So cool.
And that's Celie's newsletter. So I'm going to leave that on for a hot second. And where's your other banner? I don't see it.
Yeah, that's right, Sister P. She's my manager. She takes 85%. That sound like an interesting manager to me.
That's funny. So, all right. Okay.
All right. So, you want to say something before we sign off?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. So, y'all know how I want to say. She doesn't want us to always do this, but we always give our flowers to Prof Duff for curating this spot. I wouldn't have never known Brother Ricky if it was not for you. I would have never known Sister Pendleton. I would have never known Brother Pride. I would have never known some brilliant young person like Jesse, right? I would have never known all of these wonderful, brilliant people. I wouldn't have known Brother Turnbull. So we thank you for curating this space, not just for the love of Prince, but for bringing us all together. You guys are the Prince friends I wish I'd have had back in the 80s. Because I was kind of by myself. So you guys are the Prince fans. And so I want to end with this. This has kind of been my thing. I want you guys every day that you can, hug somebody and tell somebody that you love them. I'm going to say it again. Every chance that you get, hug somebody and tell somebody that you love them. Prof Duff, every chance I get, I don't care how old he get, I kiss my grandson Joshua right dab on the forehead. Now he don't even fight. He just be like, "Come on, get it over with, granddaddy." So with that, we thank you all guys for showing up. We will see you next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. See y'all later.
Timekeeper. 4 minutes, just 4 minutes over time. That's right, timekeeper.